The chase for hockey's holy grail is on.
Vegas wins in double overtime!
For the Hurricanes and Golden Knights, the stakes only get bigger from here. The Stanley Cup Final, Game 4, tonight on ABC and the ESPN app.
Cheryl Underwood is on the podcast today. Have a great day, everyone. Take a little time to enjoy the view. And remember, you are not in this alone. We're in it together. We'll see you tomorrow.
I'm Jordan Wood. Everywhere I go, Mainers tell me they've had enough. Tired of higher costs, exhausted by endless wars, and worn out by corporate greed. Washington is failing us. It's time for a new generation to fight Trump and the billionaires. I've already taken on election deniers and won. I'll never take a dime from corporate PACs or lobbyists. I'm Jordan Wood, and I approve this message because I'll fight corruption, defend our democracy, and finally pass Medicare for all.
President Feta cheese. So fresh. So creamy. No wonder it's the #1 feta in America. If it's excellent, it's President.
Cancer affects everyone, but there is hope at Northern Light Eastern May Medical Center's Champion the Cure Challenge, where every dollar raised helps patients in our own backyard. Make a difference. Walk, run, or cycle August 15th in Brewer. Visit ctcchallenge.org.
You're watching ABC7 Bangor.
This is ABC7 News at Noon.
The candidates are out on this primary day. We'll talk with some of them. Good afternoon. I'm Susan Farley. The Penobscot County Sheriff's Office is investigating a fatal crash on Route 9 in Eddington, and a Florida woman charged in connection with a major kickback scheme was sentenced yesterday. Thank you for joining us. We'll have more on these and other stories coming up. First, let's check in with meteorologist Devin Biggs. Devin?
Hey Susan, happy Tuesday afternoon. A little bit of activity just off toward our east, but for us, just some passing clouds. It's going to be another nice day filled with a lot of sunshine and just a few passing clouds. Further off towards the south and west, still a lot of sunshine. Notice a little bit of activity as you head further off towards the west, some showers and thunderstorms as you head out towards the Midwest and then farther down toward the south. But for us, here we are. Lots of sunshine this afternoon, some clouds develop. We'll be under a partly cloudy sky coming up later on tonight as well. More clouds as we head towards your Wednesday. Here's what we got. Gusty winds this afternoon reaching up to about 15, maybe 20 miles per hour at times. The winds will back off later on tonight. And then once we head towards tomorrow, the winds calm to start. Then the winds pick up a bit as we head towards the afternoon, but not bad at about 15, maybe 20 miles per hour. So for today, upper 80s. A mostly sunny sky. We'll have some gusty winds at times, but the sustained winds will be out of the west at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And by tonight, partly cloudy, upper 50s for the overnight low, and that west breeze at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. All right, let's check out your hourly forecast for the afternoon period. Lots of sunshine, a few passing clouds. Temperatures overall in the 80s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Susan?
Thank you, Devin. Jonathan Bush is a Republican running for governor in Maine. He is a co-founder of Athena Health. Bush says he believes he is the best person for the job.
I know how to bring business to Maine because I have been doing it now for since 2007 with success. I know how to turn around a bureaucracy because I have been doing it. I know how to manage healthcare payments without fraud because I have been doing it for 30 years.
CD2 Democratic candidate Jordan Wood was in Bangor to talk about his vision for Maine and America. The 37-year-old is running for the 2nd District congressional seat. Wood talked about making childcare and housing more affordable for working families. He also talked about watching families struggle with medical issues and emergencies.
We need to get to a system of Medicare for all. We need to decouple health insurance from your employer so that people have the security to get the help and care that they need without fear of going broke or sinking into medical debt.
Wood said Medicare should include dental, vision, and hearing because those things are necessary and are not options. CD2 Democratic candidate Joe Baldacci spoke out against the war with Iran and his potential Republican opponent's lack of public comment on the conflict. Baldacci told listeners it's been 100 days since Trump administration launched the war, which he says has cost 13 American lives and triggered price hikes across the board for Americans, including Mainers, on just about all basic needs, especially gasoline. He said while Mainer's congressional delegation has condemned the war in the past, Baldacci says former governor and presumptive Republican candidate for CD2 Paul LePage has remained silent despite hardships inflicted on Mainers.
It's time for Paul LePage to come out of hiding and to answer the questions: do you support this war in Iran? Let me be clear, I don't support the war in Iran, and when I'm in Congress, I will vote to rein in the powers of President Trump to start wars without congressional approval.
Baldacci says he's heard from many voters who are upset about the war with Iran and increased costs. He urged everyone to get out and vote today. Baldacci also stopped by the Cross Insurance Center in Bangor to cast his vote this morning. He was one of many candidates greeting Bangor residents who turned out to vote in today's primary. Baldacci said this is a really important day for both parties in Maine.
But I've been really proud of the campaign we've run and the response we've gotten from people and the voters of Maine. I'm very much in their debt because they are very considerate.
Baldacci is one of 4 Democrats running to replace Jared Golden in the 2nd Congressional District. The gubernatorial primary election is today, and the top 4 candidates for the Democratic nominees consist of Hannah Pingree, Shetla Bellows, Angus King III, Nirav Shah, and Troy Jackson, while the top candidates for the Republican nominees consist of Ben Midgley, David Jones, Garrett Mason, Jonathan Bush, Owen McCarthy, Robert Childs, and Robert Wessels. The race for the seat for the 2nd Congressional District is also ongoing, with Democratic candidates Paige Loud, Joe Baldacci, Jordan Wood, and Matt Dunlap up against former Republican Governor Paul LePage. Buses in and around Bangor will be free today as the Community Connector works to help get residents to the polls and encourages new riders to give public transit a try. The free fare program has become an election day tradition in recent years, with rides offered at no cost during both the June and November elections. Bangor Transit Administrator Lori Linskett says buses will stop at polling places in Bangor, Hamden, Vesey, and Orono. As part of their regular routes, riders heading to polling places in Brewer or Old Town are asked to let the drivers know in advance.
If you need to get to Brewer, they're at the rec center. Just tell the driver you need to go to the polls in Brewer, and also in Old Town. It is request only, just because both of those are off the route a little bit, so we'll just detour to get you there.
Linskett says the program is part of the city's ongoing effort to remove transportation barriers and help ensure that every resident has access to the ballot box. The Penobscot County Sheriff's Office is investigating a fatal crash on Route 9 in Eddington. The crash happened right near the Eddington Fire Department. The Sheriff's Office says the call came in shortly after 1 p.m. yesterday. First responders determined that a van traveling westbound on Route 9 had crossed the roadway and struck a work vehicle that was legally parked in the breakdown lane. The collision was head-on and resulted in extensive damage to both vehicles. The operator of the parked work vehicle was transported to Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center for treatment. The operator of the van was pronounced deceased at the scene. The cause of the collision remains under investigation. A man from Bradley has received his sentence for committing bank fraud and identity theft. 51-year-old Darren Diorsi will serve 13 months in prison after pleading guilty. According to the U.S. Attorney's Office, Diorsi conspired with others to fraudulently obtain money from banks. They impersonated legitimate bank account holders and used bogus identification cards to withdraw funds. Diorsi has also been ordered to pay nearly $17,000 in restitution. A Florida woman charged in connection with a major kickback scheme involving a Maine Corrections Department official was sentenced for her role Monday. Melanie Ann High of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, was accused of using kickbacks to induce Gerald Merrill, who repeated purchases from companies she controlled. Merrill is a former deputy superintendent at the Mountain View Correctional Facility and the Down East Correctional Facility. For her part, Melanie High was charged with theft by unauthorized taking and bribery in official and political matters. High was sentenced to 2 years in prison with all but 6 months suspended and 2 years probation, as well as $100,000 in restitution restitution for the benefit of the Department of Corrections. High spoke before the verdict was handed down.
This period has been the worst and most difficult of my life. I've had to confront my actions and consequences every day. I am deeply ashamed of what has happened.
The judge said she based her decision on the length of time that criminal activity took place and the amount of money the scheme cost the state of Maine. She also considered High's lack of criminal history, her cooperation with the investigation, and her prepayment of some of the restitution. And Democratic candidate for Congress Matt Dunlap is voting today in Old Town. That's where our Jody Hersey is this afternoon. Jody?
Hey, Susan, I'm here outside of the Old Town Elks Lodge, where Democratic candidate Matt Dunlap just moments ago cast your ballot. How important is primary day today?
Well, obviously for the candidates, it's very, very important, but it's important really for everyone. This is how we decide who our candidates are going to be, to face off with the other party's candidates in the general election. This determines the future of public policy, which direction we're going to go in, both in Congress and in the legislature.
You started your day out at the Cross Insurance Center in Bangor. Now here you've got a full day planned ahead. What did you think? What is your opinion of the turnout so far?
Turnout's steady, not overwhelming. You know, we've obviously in a presidential cycle, we'll see turnout exceeding 75%. In a primary, it can be as low as 10 or 15%. And it seems to be tracking along that line right now. So these are the people who are most committed, the people who really want to make sure that they have their voice heard. And really, in the aftermath of our late observation of the D-Day landings in 1944, it kind of brings home exactly how important our rights are to vote and to govern ourselves, the sacrifice that so many have given for so many generations to make sure we had those rights. That's why we encourage people to participate in this process.
Well, thank you so much, Matt. I wish you the best of luck. And folks who haven't made it out to the polls yet, you have until 8 o'clock tonight to cast your ballot. Back to you.
Thank you, Jody. Coming up on ABC 7 News at noon, 2 U.S. pilots had to be rescued after the helicopter went down near the Strait of Hormuz. We've got details when we return.
Are your basement walls bowing, crumbling, or failing? Hi, I'm Tony Hafford with TC Hafford Basement Systems, all things basementy. Our Stable Lock Wall System offers a patented, affordable, and permanent solution to save your foundation walls. It stabilizes, fills voids, and structurally repairs, leaving a new smooth surface. All the strength of new walls. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems today for all things basementy.
When there's a big job to do, you send the person you know will deliver. Joe Baldacci. Lowering grocery prices, protecting Medicare, defending a woman's right to choose. Those are big jobs. Joe Baldacci's always delivered for Maine. He passed laws making healthcare easier to get and helped restore mental health centers. Joe Baldacci goes to work for us in Maine. And in Congress, he will too. Project 218 is responsible for the content of this ad.
There are so many fun things to do in Maine. Now you can enjoy more for less. Check out half-off deals from foxbangor.com.
For the perfect floral arrangement, look no further than Luigi & Fredericks in Bangor. Our expert florists beautifully arrange flowers for any celebration or occasion. Trust Luigi & Fredericks for bouquets that brighten anyone's day.
There's a limited supply available. It's on sale right now. Save with half-off deals from foxbangor.com.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Keep the celebration going for the guy who's always there, fixing, helping, and keeping life moving. With Gear Wrench Mega Mods toolkits built to take on any job. And power up with Milwaukee Red Lithium Battery 2-packs for $199 and get a free M18 Fuel Impact Wrench. With Maine's largest network of parts in 30 locations, Coastal Auto Parts makes it easy to get Dad the right tool fast. Help Dad do it himself with quality tools and helpful people. That's Napa know-how. Coastal Auto Parts is owned and operated by a Maine family that cares.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
The U.S. military has confirmed 2 pilots were rescued after their Apache helicopter went down near the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump says the pilots are fine. Olivia Rubin has details.
Today, new questions after a U.S. Army Apache helicopter went down near the Strait of Hormuz. 2 pilots aboard that chopper, the U.S. says, were rescued by the Navy's first ever drone task force, an unmanned vehicle picking them up and bringing them back to land. According to a U.S. official, the drone had a speedboat-like design. U.S. CENTCOM saying the helicopter was patrolling regional waters. It's not clear exactly why it went down.
So we're going to have to see whether it was a mechanical situation, whether there's a malfunction that set it into the ocean, or whether it was hostile fire. We just don't know yet.
President Trump saying the pilots are doing okay.
The pilots are fine, yeah. Nobody injured.
Hours before, U.S. forces firing on an oil tanker said to be attempting to cross the naval blockade. Here you can see smoke pouring from the ship, and here a helicopter hovers above, lifting sailors to safety. And with the war now passing 100 days, President Trump still has no deal with Iran, but insisting one could come any day.
We should be able to do it in 1 hour, if you want to know the truth. I don't think there are any sticking points.
Back and forth strikes between Israel and Iran this weekend, putting negotiations on shaky ground. The fighting has paused for now, but both sides warning they are ready to resume if provoked. Iran's top negotiator saying they will, quote, fight at our own time and negotiate at our own time. And the price of oil falling amid President Trump's optimism, down to under $90 a barrel and about $4.12 for a gallon of gas, according to Gas Buddy. Olivia Rubin, ABC News, New York.
Pope Leo continuing his historic week-long journey to Spain. On his last full day in Madrid, Leo thanked volunteers for assisting in the organization and management of his trip. Today, he's also visiting Barcelona, the second leg of his Spanish tour. Tomorrow, Leo will bridge 1,000 years of church history with a visit to a medieval monastery on a mountaintop that local Catholics consider sacred. He will then celebrate Mass at Barcelona's famous basilica. Leo's visit will culminate Friday at the Canary Islands, where he will meet some 1,000 migrants who traveled by the Atlantic in a dinghy to reach Europe. The Maine CDC is recommending limiting the consumption of fresh fish from some areas after finding elevated levels of PFAS. They say those elevated levels were found in fish tissue samples from Sandy Stream in Freedom, Knox, and Unity, and in the Sebasticook River in Winslow. In some cases, they recommend not eating fish from any kind of the affected areas. In others, they recommend no more than 5 meals per year in any fish species. There are now 28 water bodies in Maine that currently have a freshwater consumption advisory. One Down East business is making a big impact on local nonprofits, one penny at a time. Our Alex Schley tells us what Stanley Subaru was doing to help some of the most vulnerable members of the community.
Stanley Subaru visited the Bar Harbor Food Pantry Monday, presenting the organization with a check along with a variety of non-perishable food items.
Because everybody needs help someplace, sometime.
Earlier this year, the Trenton-based dealership launched its Roundup for Change program, giving customers the option to round up their purchases to support a local nonprofit.
When people come in for service and we're checking them out, sometimes they only have like 1 cent over whatever it was, and we ask them to donate 99 cents or $2 or $5 or whatever they'd like to. But the cents add up.
Each month, the team at Stanley Subaru selects a different organization to benefit. Recent recipients include Next Step Domestic Violence Project, Hospice Volunteers of Hancock County, and the Family First Community Center. For organizations like Bar Harbor Food Pantry, which help feed thousands of Mainers across Hancock County, leaders say every donation makes a difference.
It is an incredible community, and while I tend to see people at some of their hardest, most vulnerable moments, the majority of what I see is genuine compassion and generosity in every direction. This community shows up for each other in so many different ways every day, and Stanley Subaru is one wonderful example of how many people support our work.
Stanley Subaru is currently raising money for Ark Pope Memorial Animal Shelter in Cherry Fields, with proceeds from June's campaign going directly to the shelter. In Bar Harbor, Alex Schley for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
After the break, if you're interested in wildlife or marine biology, Hudson University may have a new degree program for you. We'll be right back.
Peter Pan here. You know, I thought growing up would be the worst, but then I found a way to hack adulthood. It's called AAA. With AAA, I'm covered from roadside to poolside, and insurance and member perks that make adulting a breeze. With AAA, it pays to be a member.
Kirk Fisher is a motorcycle attorney with first responder experience. He protects fellow riders and those in danger, fighting fires and fighting for your rights. Experienced, determined, and dedicated. Iron Horse Motorcycle Lawyers. Look for motorcycles, or Kirk Fisher will be looking for you.
Think you know Robert Charles? Think again. While President Trump was crushing the woke left, DC insider Bob Charles was cashing in, making millions holding lucrative contracts with the woke DEI Never Trump Obama administration. Bob Charles, looking the other way, abandoning the MAGA movement, working for liberal DEI-loving Democrats, failing President Trump. Anything for a buck chuck can't be trusted. Trump traitor Robert Charles, woke, radical, wrong. Just too liberal for Maine.
This spring, invest in your nest with the County Federal Credit Union. Your home has grown in value, season after season. With the county's 10-10 Home Equity Line of Credit, you can borrow up to your credit limit over 10 years, with interest-only payments over those 10 years, 10-10. And then you can stop and smell the roses, soak up the sun, and invest in your nest. The 10-10 Home Equity Line of Credit, the County Federal Credit Union, countyfcu.org.
If you've been injured in a motorcycle wreck, call 855-IRON-LAW today. Iron Horse Motorcycle Lawyers. We protect our own.
Be back in a bit. Try not to burn the house down.
Guess it's a good thing we got AAA.
AAA, we're always with you.
You know, this is the time of year when we're craving something homemade, but we really don't feel like baking. Well, if that sounds like you, then you're gonna love the no-bake dessert we're making today. And since it's super easy, this is a great one to have your kids or even your grandchildren help you with. All we do is pour half a small can of frozen lemonade concentrate into a bowl, along with some sweetened condensed milk and some whipped topping. We give that a good stir until it's mixed really well. You see, as the lemonade reacts with the sweetened condensed milk, it thickens up, and the whipped topping makes this summery light. Now, we spoon this into a few graham cracker tart shells, and you can find these in the baking aisle right next to the pre-made pie crusts. Then into the fridge these go to chill up, and they're ready to serve. Maybe top them off with a few fresh berries, and it's summer at its best. You see, with each bite, you get the creaminess of a cheesecake with the tartness of lemonade. Since this is so amazing, I really do hope you'll go online and get the recipe for our no-bake lemonade cheesecakes, so you can enjoy a homemade dessert without ever turning on your oven. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a refreshing way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Hudson University is expanding its online degree offerings. They are adding new Bachelor of Science degrees in marine biology and conservation, one in wildlife care and rehabilitation, and another in wildlife conservation and management. They're also adding 4 new online certificate programs.
Marine biology is growing. I think there's over 500,000 jobs available right now for marine biologists, and honestly there's not a lot of flexible online programs in marine biology, for example. So we're combining the labor market, the professional focus, and people's passion.
Hassan officials say the programs will prepare students to be career ready on day one in their chosen field. When we return, Devin Biggs has your 5-day forecast.
No visit to Down East Maine is complete unless you have your picture taken with Wilbur the Lobster. Ruth and Wimpy's restaurant in Hancock is always doing it up right for lunch and dinner with huge portions and wimpy prices. Ruth and Wimpy's restaurant, 792 US Highway 1.
You know what today is? It's Tuesday. Just reminding you that whatever day of the week you get hurt, we're your go-to lawyers. If you've been hurt, call us right now.
Hurt in an accident, what do you do? Call 222-2222.
Make your outdoor living space dreams come true with a little help from Granville Stone and Hearth. Granville can help you go from this to this. Outdoor fireplaces, custom outdoor kitchens, gorgeous stone patios, and more. You bring the dreams, we'll supply the materials to make it all real. Create your stunning outdoor oasis with help from the experts at Granville Stone and Hearth, Main Road, Holden.
There are so many fun things to do in Maine. Now you can enjoy more for less. Check out half-off deals from foxbangor.com.
For the perfect floral arrangement, look no further than Luigi & Fredericks in Bangor. Our expert florists beautifully arrange flowers for any celebration or occasion. Trust Luigi & Fredericks for bouquets that brighten anyone's day.
There's a limited supply available. It's on sale right now. Save with half-off deals from foxbangor.com.
You co-signed on this car and you stopped making payments, and then you discovered the car had been totaled.
Did you tell her that you would move, or did you make her hire a private investigator to track you down?
Hot Bench. Tuesday at 3 on ABC 7. No visit to Down East Maine is complete unless you have your picture taken with Wilbur the Lobster. Ruth and Wimpy's restaurant in Hancock is always doing it up right for lunch and dinner with huge portions and wimpy prices. Ruth and Wimpy's restaurant, 792 US Highway 1.
Let's check your full forecast with Devin Biggs. Devin?
Alrighty, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center, now offering a 10% bonus on your returnables and a monthly $100 drawing. Alrighty, here we go. We have wave heights at around 2 feet according to the buoys, and further off towards the north and east, still rather quiet. We have no advisories in effect along the coast or even on land either. Further out towards sea, wave heights at around 2 to 3 feet at this moment in time. Now, water temperatures are still rather cool in the mid-50s and even still cooler further off towards the north and east too. We need to be careful with hyperthermia because even though the air temperatures are rather warm, water temperatures still rather cold offshore and maybe even inland as well. So definitely be careful with that. So even though we still have some energy just outside of the country, we just have some passing clouds overhead for us. So sunshine and some clouds will be expected for us today as high pressure begins to clear. Notice we have more energy further off towards the west, upper Midwest, just in general across parts of the country at this moment in time. Futurecast for us, lots of sunshine today. We'll be under a partly cloudy sky for the afternoon and evening time frame. As we head towards the Wednesday, more clouds continuing to build in. We'll watch for showers and thunderstorms as we head towards Wednesday evening, and now we'll continue as we head towards your Thursday with our next system that continues to approach. With today being nice, we'll have plenty of sunshine. That UV index forecast will be at an 8 today. That's very high. A burn time of simply 15 minutes. Hat, sunglasses, sunscreen, and shade will be necessary to avoid a bad sunburn. And the dew points are going to be up there as well. Check this out. 60s for today, and then they're back into the mid-60s as we head towards Wednesday into Thursday, and gradually dropping, but still in the 60s as we head towards late Thursday and a parts of your Friday. So for today, here we go. We got sunshine today, upper 80s for the high. West breeze at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Higher gusts possible. By tonight, a partly cloudy sky with lows in the upper 50s and that west wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for tomorrow, we have mid 80s under a mostly cloudy sky and that south wind at about 5 to 10 miles per per hour. Let's check out your extended forecast for your Thursday. A chance for showers and thunderstorms with highs in the upper 70s. And then Friday, mostly cloudy, highs in the lower 80s. And then Saturday, a chance for showers and some thunderstorms with highs in the mid-70s.
Thank you, Devin. A space infrastructure developer and a designer fashion brand have formed a historic partnership to help protect astronauts during a much-anticipated mission. Axiom Space and Prada unveiled a jointly developed lunar space layer set to be worn during NASA's Artemis upcoming moon landing Sunday. Axiom says the liquid cooling and ventilation garment is designed to be thermally regulating in lunar South Pole, supporting spacewalks of up to 8 hours. Prada is the first luxury fashion house to develop a spacesuit. Prada says its expertise in design, pattern making, and advanced materials contributed to the collaboration. The Artemis 4 moon landing mission is targeted for early 2028. A bobcat broke into a home in Arizona. Take a look at this video out of Scottsdale showing a bobcat living inside someone's attic. Critter evictors say they were called to the home after the residents reported hearing loud scratching noises. Crews arrived and found a hole in the roof, and this not-so-happy bobcat inside the company urges homeowners to regularly inspect their roofs and seal any openings to prevent these visitors. We'll see you tonight at 6.
On the road, broadcasting the news at 6, live from the Whoopie Pie Festival in Dover Foxcroft, is brought to you by Berg Activewear, offering a great selection of custom screen-printed t-shirts and resort wear. Visit our website at bergactivewear.com. McCusick Petroleum. See our website at mccusickpetroleum.com to learn more about our service agreements and heating options. Rowell's Garage has been serving customers since 1946. They have a nice selection of quality used vehicles and offer service on any vehicle.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.